I think that's really cool. Get to fly basically almost every day.
The professors and the instructors really know how to engage their students.
I really enjoyed being at Indiana State University because we have a lot smaller classes than most universities.
Welcome to the Department of Aviation at Indiana State University, Terre Haute, Indiana. There's no better time than now to consider a dynamic and challenging career in aviation. Indiana State University's Department of Aviation offers degrees in professional aviation flight technology, aviation management, and unmanned systems. The Professional Aviation Flight Technology curriculum prepares students for a flying career. Students who complete the major in Professional Aviation Flight Technology will graduate with a degree and may earn an FAA Flight Instructor certification with an instrument rating and a multi-engine land class rating. Employment is generally found at commuter airlines and companies having flight departments, the federal government, the military services, flight simulator companies, aircraft manufacturers, state departments of aviation, and airport fixed base operators. Indiana State's Flight Academy, located at Terre Haute International Airport, provides a state-of-the-art aircraft fleet, simulators, and hands-on experience in airport operations.
We have 12 aircraft total. We have 7 of Diamond DA-20s, and the DA-20 is a two-place, which is a two-seater aircraft. We use that for our primary training with the private pilot applicants, and also a portion of the instrument and commercial is used in that DA-20 as well. They are the actual six-pack instrumentation in them, which is a traditional type of instrumentation. Because we still believe in starting out the fundamentals of instructing with a six-pack. Then we move on to the next level, which are the Diamond DA-40, which is a four-seater aircraft that has the upper technology equipment in it. They are a flat screen digital type automation with the display of the aircraft's attitude and their instrument. What makes it unique is that this is some of the latest technology in avionics upgrade that actually the airline industry and the charter systems actually are going to that type of automation. We move on to the Piper Aero, which is our trainer that we use for the last portion of a commercial pilot certificate. As we move past that point, then the last aircraft that they would fly as a customer here at Indiana State University is the Diamond DA-42, which is the twin-engine aircraft.
When you come to Indiana State University's Flight Academy for flight training, you're going to fly Diamond aircraft, and the aircraft that they've recently purchased are top of the line, fully advanced. The technologies that you're going to find are the exact same thing that you're going to find in the professional aviation industry.
The Indiana State University Flight Academy offers an internship that prepares students for the real world if they want to be a manager.
My experience with the Indiana State University Flight Academy has been great. All the instructors are awesome. You always have a great time. I've learned so much while I've been here, so I've kind of gotten both sides of working behind the scenes as well as flying at the academy.
There are so many things that have to be done here at the Flight Academy. It gave me another side of the aviation field that I hadn't seen yet.
The Flight Academy prepares students for professionalism and the type of environment that they're going to be in the real world.
As a prospective student, the Flight Academy is a great thing because now the university actually owns the aircraft instead of contracting out to FBOs or what's called a fixed base operator.
Indiana State's Flight Academy has the 141 accreditation from the FAA. The Academy has met the FAA's highest standards for a flight school.
The FAA will continue to monitor our flight school and be checking out our facilities, our instructors, our curriculum, and our record keeping and our training that we give the students.
Basically, the curriculum is overseen by the FAA, and they keep a great amount of involvement with myself and the assistant chief and in the curriculum to keep up with any changes in the industry.
The biggest thing is that if you're going to go into a professional aviation program and go in it for training to be a professional pilot, you're going to want the 141 training. When airlines see that, they know that you had a standardized syllabus, that everything you had was monitored and it was to the top that it could be.
It just tells an employer that a student who's graduated from Indiana State University and their 141 program has gone through a very rigorous and standardized program.
Unmanned aerial systems is a new, leading-edge technology which will soon represent new and growing opportunities in the civilian, government, and military job markets. Indiana State is one of the first universities to offer unmanned systems education and training. Students will learn the regulations for unmanned systems, will demonstrate proficiency in programming, pre-flight, flight operations, post-flight inspection, and mission analysis and debriefing.
Right now they're predicting that the unmanned systems area will be a $110 billion industry by the year 2025.
We focus on the applications of how you use the robots to benefit people in all kinds of areas as far as precision agriculture, first responders, construction, mining. There are many, many disciplines that can be used, and the students will learn how to apply them to an industry and solve business problems.
Indiana State University is one of the first 4 schools in the United States to have a program in unmanned systems. We're on the leading edge of getting the students hands-on experience with these different types of vehicles and doing different types of research with the vehicles themselves.
We don't deal in just the air side of unmanned systems. We also deal with maritime and ground. What we're talking about is mainly, again, the uses for everyday life, looking at mines or pipelines, agriculture, how can we help? Homeland Security after a natural or a man-made disaster.
There are many areas where a student can look at opportunities in the future. We are looking at trying to get the students to do a multidisciplinary approach so that they learn the unmanned systems and they also do a minor in some other area here at the university, like Earth and Environmental Sciences for Geographical Information Systems, or in criminology where it can be applied to law enforcement or security or something else in the future, or in an area in the business area like risk management or insurance or logistics. There are many, many applications where these unmanned systems can be applied.
The aviation management curriculum prepares students for professional administrative positions. Career tracks range from such occupations as airport manager to director of operations for a major airline. A flexible degree concentration allows students to specialize in airport management, aircraft dispatcher, or aviation studies.
So what our major does, and our major courses are airport planning and design, airport aviation security and emergency planning, airport operation, air transportation. These are the core classes as far as aviation management goes. For the most part, students think that aviation is just related to flying. And aviation management gives them an overall perspective of different facets of aviation. You could be working in operation safety, you could be working in airport security, you could be working in concession, which deals with retail and restaurants. There are 5 core classes which they take in aviation management. They start with air transportation, which deals with all airlines, history, historical background, what it entails to be a successful airline, the scheduling, pricing, all that basic stuff we cover. And then they come over from air transportation, they go over to airport operations, which is more the safety and security. And after they've done airport operations class, they end up in airport security class, which is emergency management. And then they finally end up in our senior classes, which is airport planning and design. How do we design airports? The future is bright as far as aviation management goes. But students should realize that once they graduate with aviation degree, they'll have a very, they can work in almost any sector of aviation, not just flying. So this gives them a broader, opportunities in aviation.
Classes at Indiana State offer free simulator time, lower cost scholarships, and 4-credit internships. Advanced flight courses are taught by airline pilots, and the student-to-faculty ratio at ISU is 20:1.
At ISU, we have several simulators on campus as well as at the Flight Academy. It gives definitely our students an advantage training-wise. It's really great to practice a new maneuver in a simulator where there's no pressure, there's a pause button, you don't necessarily have to worry about radio calls. Practice it, get comfortable with it there, then you can take it to the aircraft and incorporate it, in that real scenario.
We have simulators here at the Flight Academy and then simulators at campus. The simulators at campus are involved with a scheduled basis where a student can fly up to 3 times a week in the simulator at campus. The simulators at the Flight Academy are used from the instruction side is whenever a student and instructor come out to fly and the weather may be bad, then we have the availability of a simulator.
The university has made a huge investment in our aircraft simulator program. These are state-of-the-art simulators.
Also, if you ever have trouble with the maneuver and need more practice, again, we can take you to the simulator and practice in a comfortable, quiet environment, and then we can take you back to the aircraft.
The simulators at Indiana State University have provided me with a lot of experience that I wouldn't get in an actual airplane. It allows you to go in conditions where you wouldn't actually fly in as a student, but you can experience them in a simulator, so when you go out in the real world, you can actually experience them and know what it's like, so nothing catches you off guard.
As a student who has utilized the simulators at Indiana State University, I really feel that it has helped me further my flight training, because when you go into the simulators, it's free. So instead of going and paying for an aircraft and you have to worry about flying the aircraft on top of that, when you get in the simulators, you can focus on what you're doing. And if you don't understand something, you can pause it and you can go over it with your sim instructors.
Students at Indiana State University have many opportunities to apply for and receive scholarships.
I received the President's Scholarship, and with that, it has helped me pay for tuition, housing, food plan. It's kind of a full ride scholarship. Really, there are a lot of scholarships and free money that you can apply for.
Indiana State provides a wide variety of experiences, including ocean and mountain flying trips, air races, tailwheel and float planes, gliders, and nationwide organizations and fraternities, such as Women in Aviation and Alpha Eta Rho. ISU will also accept previous flight hours and ratings toward class credits.
One thing, again, that I'm particularly proud of is that we have here what we call an experiential learning frame of mind, in that while we realize the classroom is the center point and the focal point for learning, it's not the only place to learn. So we spend a lot of time outside of the classroom, going to different aircraft manufacturing companies, visiting different airlines, different airports, museums.
I'm very focused in promoting and trying to encourage women in aviation. It's a very small percentage of the industry. About 6% of pilots are female, and so I really want to help and do what I can to boost those numbers, and that includes trying to get our students to the Women in Aviation conference every year and also participate in the Air Race Classic, which is an all-women's air race. So I think that gives our students an advantage, especially when they can write that on their resume. Both of those activities give them the chance to network, to apply those skills that they've learned in the classroom.
We went on this transcontinental air race, and it was a great experience because what you learned in the classroom was applied to real-life flying.
The Air Race Classic was held from Concord, California to New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. We were trying to make it in 4 days, all under VFR conditions, so we couldn't fly in clouds at all. It was a really tough race, but it was very challenging.
It was an awesome experience flying through the mountains and being in California one day and 4 days later being in Pennsylvania.
When I was initiated into Alpha Eta Rho, it really helped me grow as a person. I was able to make a lot more friends, of course, but I was also able to see where my career could take me.
We do make a trip to Sikeston, Missouri, and we go eat at Lambert's every once in a while. I did fly up to Chicago area to go eat at Giordano's. So there's a lot of few small fun trips that we make.
Indiana State University's Department of Aviation Technology is internationally recognized for the excellence of its facilities, faculty, and graduates.
The degree in unmanned systems with the appropriate minor can get you a job in just about any field that you're looking at.
When you graduate, since as you probably know, airline industry, it fluctuates. So they have a backup as a management program minor. So they get jobs in say aviation authorities, which runs airports nationwide, or FAA and TSP, which is National Transportation Safety Administration, and also in consulting firms.
ISU was my best choice. For the tuition rate was the best, and I figured that I could save the money on tuition and spend that on flight fees. So that was my outlook.
Indiana State University prepared me for a life in aviation. So I've been involved in several things: aerial mapping, selling aircraft, flight instruction, corporate flying, and the certificates that I earned from ISU prepared me for that.
As a graduate, I've done many things in my career. I've flown charter, corporate, done flight instruction for 10 years. It's just been a great experience.
Get involved. Find a fraternity, find a sorority, find an organization that is in line with your major.
I think when you look at our program and compare us to some of the other flight schools out there, you'll find that what you get here at Indiana State University is as big a bang for your buck as you can probably get.
What are you waiting for? Contact us at 1-800-833-5325 or at www.indstate.edu/aviation.